Hey there guys, in this session we'll be taking a look at the OS module and more specifically the listdir function from said module. It's basically similar to the ls command, so if I go ahead to the terminal and hit ls, I can see that in this current directory I've got main.py and stuff, so just listing the things that exist in this directory. If I was to cd into the stuff directory here, so that's this guy, got two txt files and a little CSV file. So the ls command now just shows the output of what's in that directory. Head back here for a second. So what we're going to do is do the same thing with listdir. And what it does, it returns a list of strings containing effectively items. I don't want to say files because it can also return, if you've got a folder in there as well, it's going to return the name of the folder. So containing items, of a particular directory. I'll just do dir for short here with this. Okay, let's bring this to the top just so it's out of the way. And what happens is whenever you use listdir, if you don't give it a directory, I've got one here ready, but if you don't give it one, it's going to assume the current working directory of where your Python program is running. So let's just do files underscore directories as my variable name, and this is equal to os.listdir. If we just go ahead and run this, I'll see what we get. So bear in mind, in this case here, I'm in this July folder, so I've got access to the stuff folder and main.py. So if we hit run, we see stuff and main.py, which is absolutely fine. However, if I now pass in path as the arguments to this function, we're now saying list all the things that exist inside this place here. And inside stuff, we can see the two txt files and a CSV file. And there we go, just like that. So what you might want to do is iterate over this. So if I say for f in this, let's go ahead, indent this guy here, and do print f like that. So in this case here, we're saying for everything in this particular directory, go off and show me what's there. So we should loop through now and see those three items. Now, one of the things you may want to do, it's quite common to do this in practice, is to say go through a directory and only show me files of a certain type. And because this is returning a list of strings, we can use the string.endsWith method. So we can say for each file or each item, if that thing ends with, and we'll do .txt. And then we can do, let's do print as an f string. So you can say this is a txt file, and we'll put f in there just like that. And we hit run now. There we go. Yes.txt is a text file, and then hello.txt is a text file as well. Now, this is all well and good, but what if you wanted to contain those items within a list? You could theoretically, do something like x is this, and then if so, go and append them here. However, we can be a bit more functional and a bit more declarative, and I think personally a bit smarter. I think this looks cool as well. So what I would probably do, I would do txt files and I'd bring up a little list comprehension. So we would basically kind of chop this up here. So if I was to pinch this bit, let's take this out of here. Let's comment this off for a second. And so if I put this like this here, I can say f for f in this, but only if this condition applies. There we go. So let's do print txt files. Let's make sure this is nicely cleaned up here and make sure I close this off correctly there. We hit run now and there we go. So it's saying for everything in this place, include it in the list only if that item ends with .txt. Now this is good, but however notice that these aren't the full paths to these items here. Now you may actually want to include like the full path. So if I actually go ahead and in here and copy the full path, you see the full path looks like this. And in some cases you might actually want to join like yes.txt to this here. So what I could actually go ahead and do, if I could show you the join method for a second. So let's suppose I just take x is equal to let's do yes.txt. I'll show you how the join method works and then show you how we can use it inside this list comp to go ahead and join those things together. So if I just did print os.path.join, and then we'll do path So I'm going to change this to say path underscore like that, because I'm using the path word here. Don't really have to, it's nice to kind of make those things, you know, completely separate. I'll do join this to this here. So let's print that and see what we get. Make sure that this is nicely commented out. Hit run and see how it basically joins this along to this here. So what we can do is do that logic right at the front. So if I take this guy here, get rid of this, button F, and then when we hit run, let's move this out of the way. Hopefully, there we go. So a little bit bigger, but let's move it out of the way. So now we have the full paths inside our list by using listdir and using ends with to say only give me those files that end with txt. And one more time, the path.join, this bit is basically saying join this to some other item. And we're using this here in our list comprehension to say join this path to everything in this directory, but only if that item is a text file. Cheers for watching, guys, and have a great week.